The Turkey Hill Truck Series continues on in the home state of Turkey Hill, in the great state of Pennsylvania. As we run the 11th race of the season and one of the shortest races of the season here at the Tricky Triangle on the Pocono Raceway. This is the Pocono Mountains 150. Only 15 laps here today at the Pocono Raceway in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, season number 8. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Pocono Raceway, Long Pond, Pennsylvania, as we are here for the Pocono Mountains 150, 11th race of the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. And the top 3 drivers in points start 1, 2, 3 here today for this event. I think those guys who have good ratings are going to be running very well in this 15-lap event. The other big factor is there's no pit stops in today's event. So we will not have the issue like we had in Watkins Glen. We won't have any fuel mileage issues. They'll be able to make it from the start to the finish. So it's a strict race and a flat-out race from the green flag to the checkered flag. It should be interesting here today. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fast one, only 15 laps. To join alongside Nathan Stapleton. And Nathan, first of all, I'm sorry about what happened to you last time out at IRP. But hey, a good place to rebound for a lot of these guys. And we'll have to see who gets it done. But how do you think this race is going to play out? Knowing there are no pit stops, do you think anyone other than the top 3 drivers starting in this race are going to have a shot at winning here today in the Pocono Mountains 150?
Well, I think it's going to be very interesting of what ends up playing out, because we go from the short track at ILP to now probably one of the biggest racetracks on the schedule and one of the trickiest tracks on the schedule, no pun intended, at Pocono. And this track's 3 different turns, and some of these guys have the setup just right, and some of them might not. And we have to see what happens here. It's going to be interesting, I think, because there's not going to be any pit stops. I think these guys might be a little bit more aggressive, knowing that it's only 15 laps, no pit stops, just get the way up to the front, and have to see what happens here at Pocono.
We definitely will. Going to be a fun race here. Only 15 laps. We'll be out of here in a jiffy. If a caution does come out today, it's only going to be a 2-lap caution period, and that's the reason why there are no pit stops in the race here today, because it's so short. If a caution were to theoretically come out, it'd be too long for us to really justify a caution, but it is still an oval, so we still kind of need the caution, so that's where the balance comes in with all of that, which is just a better decision. No pit stops, and we don't have to worry about it. Obviously, that's been an issue this season for a lot of drivers. But one driver who has not had many issues this season is Sebastian Kukulon. Our points leader, 23 points on Laura Chung, who's won the past 2 races here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Ryan Kingart there, starting second, is 52 points behind. And then Ethan Lewis starts 5th for this race. He's 64 points behind coming into this race. Eric Drew, 5th in points, 72 points behind. He does start pretty deep in the field here today. Allison Rain, Brad Stover, and Joey Hightower, another one of those guys who's starting up front here today in the 4th position, all up there in the top 10 in points as well. Great opportunity for all those guys to maybe have a shot at getting towards Sebastian Kukulon, but with Kukulon starting on the pole position, it's going to be hard to beat him here today, the Pocono Raceway. And with that, we'll get these guys to roll off here from the Tricky Triangle. Like I mentioned, Sebastian Kukulon starting on the pole position in the number 75. Alongside on number 98 is Ryan Kingart, who's come close to winning so many races this season, but has only gotten 1 victory on the year, and that came in the 2nd race at Darlington. However, he did come from 36th to 6th last time out at IRP, so he won't have to work as hard to get the race victory here today. Laura Chung, winner of the last 2 races here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, to the inside of Joey Hightower, Ethan Lewis, and Brad Stover. Great run for Caleb Rose once again in qualifying. The inside of Allison Rain right there, and then Shane Lake and Nicholas Samadeo round out the top 10. Make sure everybody is rolling off all right. Nathan, who do you think is going to get the race victory here today with the top 3 drivers in points 1, 2, 3? Do you think it'll be anybody else, or will it be one of those 3 drivers going to victory lane here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania?
Well, I want to say that since it's only 15 laps, maybe some guys in the middle of the field can work their way up to the front. But it is only 15 laps, and the top 3 have been really fast this season, up in points and scoring 1 to 3. I have my money on the number 98 here today of Ryan Kingart. He's come close so many times, like you said. Only 1 victory. I think he's going to get win number 2 on the season here in the Pocono Mountains.
You definitely have a good opportunity at doing that here today. long as he doesn't get involved in an accident or have some sort of issue, he's definitely going to be contending for that race victory here at the Pocono Raceway. Sebastian Kukulon, though, is going to be hard to beat, and Laura Chung. 4 wins on the season: Atlanta, Texas World, Watkins Glen, and IRP, all different types of racetracks as well, and that's definitely what these guys have to worry about, because if you're good on all types of racetracks, you're probably going to win the championship. But Kukulon still holds the points lead. We'll see what he can do with it here at the Pocono Raceway. 15 laps of action here in the Pocono Mountains 150. We're green flag racing here in Pennsylvania. Good jump there for Sebastian Kukulon. Laura Chung going to move up to second. And then Ryan Kingart in third. Caleb Rose up to fourth. Caleb Rose did not even get a top 10 in the first half of the season. Grabbed one at IRP, and now here he is running fourth at Pocono on the first lap. A great run for the driver, the number 25, Shane Lake, the Daytona winner. Up there to the 5th position in Brad Stover. Under fire from Brian Webb, who's making his way on the inside. But Sebastian Kukulon trying to lead this lap. Laura Chung coming in on that inside lane. But Kukulon will hold the advantage off of turn 3 and lead lap number 1 here in the Pocono Mountains 150.
Always a lot of drivers making crazy moves on lap number 1, and that's all because of it being only 15 laps, not a lot of time. You got Pocono to make some moves, and theoretically, if the stage screen, it would be only a 15-minute race. So, not a lot of time for these truck drivers and only a lot of moves, but for the point in Sebastian Kukulon, he has to watch out for that 61, because she's been strong all season long, 4 wins, and all the way up to second. Here comes my pick, Ryan Kingart trying to get back in of the 61 mission.
And Ryan Kingart has a good opportunity here today at a race victory, but how about Caleb Rose? He's staying right with these guys. He moved up 7 positions in the points with his first top 10 of the season last time out. And he's looking to bounce up a little bit more in the point standings. He's currently tied with Casey Nanico in the championship there in 22nd. But Caleb Rose holding pretty solid in the 4th position. Shane Lake, Brad Stover, Brian Webb, Noah Clifton, Memphis Fisher, and then there you are, Nathan Stapleton, trying to rebound after what happened to him at IRP last week. Top 10 run right now for the driver of the number 40. Joey Hightower fell back to 12th after starting in the 4th position, and Ethan Lewis fell way back as well after starting 5th for this race. He's all the way down there in the 14th position now, so tough break for those guys at the start of the race. Kingart looking on Laura Chung right now, his number 61 machine, and the thing is, you got 3 of the fastest drivers in the field leading this field right now with no pit stops. I don't really see anybody else except maybe these 3 guys having any chance at leading this race. Kukulon could easily just go out there and lead every lap here today. That's very possible. Caleb Rose trying to find some bit of an advantage on Ryan Kingart right now. That's not happening. Memphis Fisher's in the outside wall back in there as Nathan Stapleton moves to the inside.
Oh, and Ryan Kingart, I should say, trying to take 2nd place away from Chung, but just going to get a nice arc into turn number 1. You can keep that top, the 2nd spot away. And turn 1 is easily the most banked turn, so that allows the Lotron to keep the momentum up, but Kingart might have something for the tunnel turn here.
Yeah, this is probably the best place to make a pass work. And I think Ryan Kingart is going to make it work on Laura Chung there for the 2nd position. And Kingart knows if he wants to win this race, he's got to get around the 61 right now, because that 75 is pulling away from the field right here. Caleb Rose, though, I've got to give him a lot of credit here. He's been doing a great job in this race and could definitely be an upset pick for this race victory here today. He's side by side with Laura Chung. Kingart going to hold that advantage on the inside lane. He'll clear the 61 here on lap 5, and next time by will already be a third of the way through this Pocono Mountains 150 here at the Pocono Raceway. Last time we came here, we actually did a 25-lap race, but decided to shorten it back up again, as it's 25% the length of the real-life race here at Pocono. So, and that's what it is. It's always been a short race, and I'm always been curious as to why it's been that short. And Memphis Fisher went way up the racetrack there, hit the outside wall, and he's going to lose a lot of ground there. Zach Winkle, Igor Barreto going to get around him. And the 9 machine there as well of Joey Hightower.
And that's not the first time that Fisher has been in outside wall. I think that's the second or third time, so maybe might be a little bit tight on that 32 machine. And upset alert possible. Here comes Caleb Rose, and the number 25 is going to easily take second away from looking at it here at Pocono.
And Caleb Rose, he's wired up here for this one here today. Like I said, he got his first top 10 last week. Didn't even get a top 10 in the first half of the season. And now here he is looking at a second straight top 5. All of a sudden, where did the speed come from for this team? Let's see what he can do. Brad Stover's closed up to the back bumper of Ryan Kingart. Shane Lake down the 6th now, and then it's Brian Webb. A battle here. Stapleton to the inside of Noah Clifton. That is for the 8th position. And then Joey Hightower rounds out the top 10. Hightower kind of gaining back some speed here, as these guys are up the speed here at the Pocono Raceway. And another thing is these guys are spread out quite a bit as well. Past races we've seen here, they've been running in a big pack, but right now it's one long line around this tricky triangle. But they are closing in on Kukulon here. Caleb Rose is doing an excellent job. As a matter of fact, he's got the second fastest lap of the race right now, only behind Ryan Kingard. But Laura Chung just took that away, and now she's got the fastest lap of the race. And that 61 might move to the inside of Caleb Rose here for second. Laura Chung has found a way to be up front at the end of all these races, and pretty much every race that she's won this season has been either off of strategy or by someone in front of her making a mistake. She's yet to really go out and dominate a complete race this season, and she's definitely going to be a threat for the championship because of her 4 wins. Trying to get to the inside of Caleb Rose, but Rose might be able to clear her off the outside, and she will. And then Brad Stover battling right there with Ryan Kingart. Stover's going to take 4th away from the 98 as Kingart falls back a little bit.
Where did Brad Stover come from in the 45? He might have a long one, but and honestly, I wasn't thinking about maybe having a long one, but with it only being 15 laps. But Stover up front late, well, about halfway. Shane Lake starting to make some moves. The 9 is of a high talent making some moves back up the point, and I think some of these guys might have decided to say, hey, the second half of the race, let's have a faster clip than the first half and make our way back up the front. And so far that is the case for some drivers, but we have a top 3 breakaway with Kukulon, Rose, and Chun here at Pocono.
Caleb Rose is right there. Laura Chung is right there as well. All 3 of these guys on each other here for this race lead. Kukulon has led every lap so far and looking to get an extra bonus point towards the championship as the points leader for leading the most laps. Laura Chung's going to have a shot here on Caleb Rose through turn 3. If Rose can stay on the outside lane, though, I think that 25 will keep the advantage. Another thing to consider, even though there aren't any pit stops in this race, it is set to 1X as well. The tire wear is not going to come into effect too much. There's still going to be a little bit. So the tires are going to be the best earlier on in the run. Caleb Rose trying to hold on to it there, keep that 61 behind him, while also trying to close in the Kukulon here for the race lead. Well, but Caleb Rose really washed it up the racetrack there, and that might open it up for Laura Chung to take the 2nd position away from the 25.
Rose got tight in turn number 1. That's not the first time. We've seen that a couple times, especially from the Chevy trucks. Fisher did it earlier and hit the wall a couple times. Rose, he just got tight and went up the racetrack, and now we have a duel with 2 of the fastest drivers all season long. Can Chun catch up with Sebastian Kukulon, the point leader? She only has 6 laps to do it here at Pocono at the line.
Kukulon doing an excellent job, and that saved him a little bit of time, but now it's Laura Chung who is in that 2nd position trying to close in on the 75. Top 2 drivers in points separated by 23 points, but Kukulon trying to put maybe 5 points on Laura Chung? No. 6 points, I think. I think it's 4 extra points for the win. You got the bonus point and then an extra bonus point for leading the most laps. So if that's the case, Kukulon could easily be 30 points ahead heading into the next race at Iowa next weekend. But Laura Chung is a quick driver, and she is going to be a threat to win this race. But Caleb Rose is not going to let her keep that 2nd position, at least easily. Brad Stover still in the battle there with Ryan Kingart for the 4th position. And Nathan Stapleton on Brian Webb here. Great run for Brian Webb. Haven't seen much of Brian Webb. He's 26 in points. Oh no! Stapleton just took out Brian Webb. And that's going to be a caution. And a hard crash there. A lot of guys in the back getting caught up as the 1 goes upside down. Ethan Lewis caught up. Sam Adio. A lot of these guys trying to race back to the line. Igor Barreto caught up in that one heavily, and a lot of damage there on Noah Clifton. My goodness, now we will have a restart. And it should be 2 laps to go when we do restart, as we do have 2-lap caution periods turned on due to how short the race is. That's a tough break for all those guys involved. Brian, just as I was saying, Brian Webb was having such a good run, and then you go and take him out. It's the deal, man.
I don't know what my alter ego did. I don't know what the Floyd machine was doing. And that's unfortunate. Right when we were talking about Brian Webb and Stapleton, my alter ego took him out. I'm very sorry for everyone that got involved.
Ethan Lewis there, heavily torn up. We're going to have ourselves a restart, and that could get a little interesting. I mean, Laura Chung didn't need a restart to get to Kukulon here. It's actually going to be a little bit less time for Laura Chung to get around that 75. Caleb Rose is third, then Brad Stover and Ryan King are at the top 5, and Stapleton now up to 7th. No, I was upset about last week. I guess that must have been what was going on there. Ethan Lewis is going to have to come down the pit lane. He's going to be done there in the 4 machine. And that might have been, yeah, I don't know. Thomas Troxel also got a piece of that one. My goodness.
The Pocono big one.
They just could not avoid it there. Well, we'll get to the restart here. But first, let's see what happened to bring out the first and what will hopefully be the only caution of the day here in the Pocono Mountains 150 in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, season number 8. I'm going to see what happened right here. Brian Webb and Nathan Stapleton down the short chute. You can see Stapleton coming up, but Webb starts to come down trying to make a pass on Shane Lake, and I think it's just a racing incident, to be honest. Because Stapleton had a good run, and Brian Webb had a good run on Shane Lake, and Brian Webb just got spun there, and Stapleton did not know how to react to it. And that's not a good place to wreck either, because you're going to have Joey Hightower come in, avoid it. Zach Winkle avoid it, but Igor Barreto cannot avoid it. And that was a hard hit there for Barreto. Noah Clifton in the 24, Ethan Lewis, and then Nicholas Samadio all get caught up right here. Those are the main 5 guys. I think all 5 of those guys, are the ones getting knocked out from this one. And you see Brian Webb go flipping there in turn 3. Not every day you see a flip. Thomas Troxel as well took a hard hit there on Igor Barreto. He couldn't avoid it. The track was almost blocked right here. Chris Tejada avoided it. Reggie Fogelman avoided it. And then you got Memphis Fisher. Most of these guys kind of slowed down back behind. Will Parrish got spun there. But outside of that, I think everyone else slowed down and stopped before they ran into somebody. But tough break there for Brian Webb and all those guys involved here. Just a racing incident there here at the Pocono Raceway.
Here we go, full speed, and I have to agree with Alex here. This was a racing incident. The 40 came up, the 1 came down, 20 past Shane Lake, and up the track. Brian Webb went, and then nowhere to go for the 91. Massive T-bump from Clifton. 4 and 88 also involved, and massive T-bump for 17, and a wild for Brian Webb. The track was blocked, and not every day you see a flip. A massive T-phone at Pocono, but that's what we got right there in the trap block number turn 3. We have to see what happens here with the late race restart here at Pocono.
Yeah, it's only going to be 3 laps left to go here at the Pocono Raceway. Sebastian Kukulon's led every lap so far. We'll have to see if he can get the race victory here in the Pocono Mountains 150. Let's get back to racing here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. We are back here, Pocono Raceway. We're going to be restarting here with only 3 laps to go, so it's not going to be a 2-lap dash to the finish, though. There's some time for these guys behind Kukulon. Laura Chung in 2nd, Caleb Rose in 3rd, Brad Stover, Ryan Kingart, Shane Lake, Nathan Stapleton, who caused that accident, Zach Winkle, Joey Hightower, and Chris Tejada, the top 10. Juan Rodriguez is down low. I think he's got to come down the pit lane. So does Roberto Crown Jr. I'm not sure what their problem is there. Noah Clifton, Nicholas Samadio, Igor Barreto, Brian Webb out of the race after that accident. And same with Ethan Lewis in the 4, but you saw Thomas Troxel there, the back of the field. We're back underway, 3 to go. here at the Pocono Raceway for Sebastian Kukulon in the number 75. We'll have to see if he can hold on and win this race. He's led every lap so far to get here. Brad Stover making quick work on Caleb Rose for third, and Stover looking for a shot at his first win of the season.
And during the break, I mentioned maybe Brad Stover might have a shot at it. Well, he got a good restart in the 45 and up to third. Got 2.5 laps to do it. Has to pass 2 trucks, but they are some of the best trucks all season long. And trying to have anything for a dominant coupon here today at Pocono.
And Laura Chung looking for her third straight win and her 5th win of the season. It's going to be interesting to see if she can pull it off here today, but Kukulon got a really good run there off the exit of turn 3. Chung and Stover both went a little low there, and they lost a lot of momentum. That's not exactly the way you want to get through that corner. It's a very wide, sweeping corner, and you want that momentum down the long pond, or the long front straightaway. Not the long pond straightaway, that's the other straightaway here. But either way, Caleb Rose falling back there in the 25s and under fire from Shane Lake. Shane Lake looking to take 5th away from the 25 machine. They're all trying to catch up to Kukulon, who I think is going to win this race. Brad Stover may actually get second here. I think Stover might be the second fastest driver out there right now. Just have to see if he can pull it off here, but it's a difficult place to make a pass, and we have seen that so far as these guys have battled for the race lead.
Tough way for Rose because he had a top 3 truck and falling back, but coming to the white flag, Chun trying to make the inside lane work. But I don't think that's going to work out, especially 9 turn 3 here at Pocono. And Kukulon started from the pole. He has 2.5 miles left here at Pocono.
Yeah, white flag in the air here in the Pocono Mountains 154. Sebastian Kukulon looking to lead every single lap in this race. But Laura Chung is right there, and she's got some help from Brad Stover. It's just so hard to really get any momentum here because of how slow these guys go through the corners around this 2.5 mile racetrack. And she lost a lot of momentum there in turn number 1. Stover might actually have a shot for second right here. We'll have to see if he can get it.
Into the tunnel turn for the final time. Stover trying to get to the inside, not going to spike it there. Might have one last shot, but it's looking really, really good for Sebastian Kukulon.
It is, only unless he blows up, and we know how that can be. And for second, Brad Stover trying to take it here. But it's going to be Sebastian Kukulon in the number 75. He's going to get his 3rd win of the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Sebastian Kukulon wins the Pocono Mountains 150. And I think Laura Chung just barely got it ahead of Brad Stover for second. Ryan Kingart in 4th, and then Shane Lake rounds out the top 5.
Dominant one for Kukulon right there. Third win on the season, and now Chun 4, Kukulon 3 could be the 2 favorites for this championship.
Absolutely. It's looking like it's going to be between that 75 and that 61. Definitely 2 of the strongest cars. They've won 7 of the 11 races run so far this season. And they're going to be tough to beat, let's put it that way. Sebastian Kukulon wins at Pocono. Laura Chung in second. So first, and second, not too bad, but she's still going to be about 30 points behind Kukulon. I think 29, actually. 29 points behind, to be exact. Great run for Brad Stover. Great run for Caleb Rose. Even though he did fall back from where he originally was, he did get another top 10 run. And Chris Tejada there rounding out the top 10. But Kukulon, Laura Chung, Brad Stover, Ryan Kingart, Shane Lake, Zach Winkle, Nathan Stapleton, Caleb Rose, Joey Hightower, and Chris Tejada. The top 10 here at the Pocono Raceway. Take a look at the rest of the results and see what happened there. Ethan Lewis, Brad Stover, or Noah Clifton, Nicholas Sambadio, Igor Barreto, Brian Webb, all caught up in that accident. And then Roberto Crown Jr., Juan Rodriguez had issues. Thomas Troxel was caught up in the accident. So that kind of came out of left field. Don't know exactly why that occurred, but it's the way it is sometimes. And those guys getting knocked out early on. Well, not really early on, but they got knocked out here in the Pocono Mountains 150. But final thoughts on this one, and how do you think it's all going to go down in Iowa next weekend?
Well, I might have to talk my alter ego of why it's on the number 1 machine, but the 40 machine upstate might be a target for Brian Webb and have to be at Iowa next week at another short track. But a really good one here at Pocono, fun 15 laps, even though it was only 15 laps. So a lot of contenders up front, Kukulon, Chun, Chevrolet a good surprise of Caleb Rose for the second straight race. And there's some comers and goers, but it was Cookon and Chun that will uppoint always on, and it's going to be a fantastic duel for the rest of the season between the 75 Cookon and the 61 of Lord Chun.
Yeah, it definitely will be, and who knows, maybe someone will come into this championship fight, but with the way the ratings are, and I've mentioned this many times, this is why we're kind of changing things up when we do the Cup Series next year. Everyone's going to start off on the same footing, and it's going to change as the season goes along. It's still really fun, though, and, obviously you kind of know who's going to be good, but you still don't know who's going to win it outright, because both of those drivers have been excellently strong all season. And, one mistake, one wreck could really change that whole entire season. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Sebastian Kukalon for winning next weekend. The Casey's General Store 200 at Iowa will be Friday night. Should be a great one there. As a matter of fact, also next Friday night, in the Discord only. You got Thanksgiving 500 signups. I will post a video for it, linking the Discord, so you guys, who aren't in will still be reminded, but the link will only be in the Discord, and that's where we're going to do all the signups going forward. But Thanksgiving 500 coming up in just a couple of weeks. We're going to have the signups for that next Friday night right over there on the Discord. But thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Sebastian Kukalon on his third win of the season. And here are the point standings for the Turkey Hill Truck Series after 11 races. On behalf of Nathan Stapleton, I will see you guys later.